This is Dancehall Neil. I don't know how this is gonna work out so well because my office is a mess. So we're opening the record store. I got my business license today. We're gonna be in on the hood side of Lockerman. That is right. So this podcast, you know, as we get closer and closer to that, I want to do more and more podcasts about that. But yeah, I signed a lease this week. I got my business license this week from the state. Applied for my city business license, and you know, I guess here we go. So I'm going to show you some stuff that I have for sale. This episode is about GG Allin, one of my favorite artists. And I'm going to talk about my favorite GG albums and some definitive recordings. And I want to do this because I just got a box today from Blood Orange Records and Black and Blue Records. With some stuff that, you know, they gave me for the store. So I will have a nice selection of GG stuff. And I'm going to do wholesale from some underground albums, as well as some major record labels. And then some old stuff, too. So you're going to find everything. N and E, LPs, and CDs. N and E. So I'm going to show you right now. Some of the stuff that I'll have for sale from GG, because this is a GG episode. We're gonna have a few copies of boom, always, what is this? Always is, and always shall be. I always had problems with that. This is a reissue. Like, I have this already, so I have a few of these for the shop. I don't have this one, but I have the original one. This is blood orange red vinyl. So I got a few of these. I believe this is limited edition for the shop. So you come in, you want to get some GG Allin. I'm going to show you what you can get. Brand new. Doctrines of Mayhem, baby. I don't know, like stupid glare. Get yourself some Doctrines of Mayhem. I have this original, of course, so you know, I got a few of these. That's for you lo-fi heads out there like myself. I got a special limited edition for sale here. This is brand new. Biggest Teats. This is a best of 1980 to 86. Comes with a poster of this image here and original insert on pink marble vinyl. Very, very limited. I only have one of these because it was too expensive to get any more than one. So for sale at the store. I'm going to take this to the store. I won't sell this online. This will be for the store. I'm going to see not really GG related. We got a couple of copies of the Lost Dick Urine tapes. And we got some CDs. I got a few 3 or 4 copies of Band in Boston 1. I did keep one of those for myself because I didn't have it. Band in Boston 1. And we got some like Bloody Mess in the Scabs and shit, some cassettes. The new Music to Make Your Ears Hurt 4. I got a couple of those. I'm gonna keep one for myself. just because there's an intro from Nico Allin, GG's daughter. So this one is open, and that may or may not. I may or may not keep this. I got one sealed, and I got one open. So if I do put this in the store, this will be only played by me, and it will be obviously much cheaper. But they got a bunch of bands on here I've never heard of. Like I said, I wanted to hear the introduction from GG's daughter, because when I got into GG, she was gone. She didn't want anything to do with the family, and now she's come out the past year or two, and has been very vocal about being GG Allin's daughter, even though she didn't know him at all. So I don't know how I feel about that. Like, I was obsessed probably about a decade ago about looking her up and seeing who GG Allin's daughter was. That's not her. That's a cover model is Bridget 9. But yeah, so I got this just to hear that, and just to see what the label's doing. I haven't heard of them. You got Cedar Street Sluts, you got GG Allin and the Scumfucks, the Scabs, and that's about all I know. And GG Allin and the Jabbers. Everything else is going to be news to me, and you know, I might dig it. It's just traditional black vinyl. Like I said, I'll have one or two for sale. One sealed, one slightly used by me. But yeah, I just gotta, like I said, I don't really care that much now as a person in their late 30s, you know. But yeah, I love GG stuff. So if you asked me my favorite GG Allin albums now, it'd be severely different as if you asked me about them like 25 years ago. So I'm going to show you some of my favorites, and where to start? Well, I guess I'll just start with the CDs. So one of my favorite albums is, if you were to ask me right now, my favorite GG Allin album, Suicide Sessions. I do have the original cassette. I'm not going to bring that out because it's not right here, and I'm never prepared. I'm really severely unprepared. But here is the CD of it. This is, oh Lord, oh Lord. All right. So this is Suicide Sessions. Devil Play. It's with Antisocial Personality Disorder, which is his original CD for that. I remember I bought this one back when I had my band Beer Belly. So I don't know. That was early 2000s. I guess it had to be 21, 22 years ago. So this is pretty much Suicide Sessions with Antisocial Personality Disorder. I don't know how they fit so much on this fucking CD, but it's about 32 tracks or so. Yeah, this would be my favorite. I might go dig that tape out just to show it, just because you don't need the original tape unless you're a psychopath. I will show you my second favorite, and this is one of the early GG albums that I actually bought on my own. This compilation is called Resurrected. This came out in '99. I remember when it first came out. I remember listening to this all through high school. You like that? YouTube's gonna take it down. That's what I think about YouTube. I like this. It's got the Dee Ramone on it. Dee Sessions. This is a lot of live stuff. I don't know how I felt about it when I got it. When I got it, I played it nonstop. But I grew to appreciate it much more, the older I got. And this will be a controversial one, I think, to people that know me. But, it is what it is. I don't give a shit. The last one, right? Oh, dude. You know what I'm talking about. Brutality and bloodshed for all. Now, when I sit down... I don't have this on vinyl, right? I should be shot. I could, and I will, at some point. But this is the original CD I got. Probably bought that back in the early 2000s. Because, 80s and very early... Late 80s and early... not in late 80s GG is what I was familiar with when I first got into them. I don't know. I just have a lot of memories with this. That's all. Again, I listened to this all 4 years of high school. This and Resurrected, they were the earliest ones. I have compilations that were made for me entering high school. I had a couple of friends. I didn't even have a computer when I started high school. I don't even know if my parents had a computer when I started high school. But I had a couple of friends I started a band with called Negative Bliss. My buddies John and Nick, they both had computers, and that was when CDs ruled everything. They were buying CDs, but they were also getting into downloading and burning CDs. You leave your computer on. They leave their computer on all day, and eventually enough people would be on there so they could download their songs or download their albums. And I remember early stuff that they did for me was GG. They did Plasmatics, Wendy O. Williams, and The Exploited. This is when I realized that punk rock went beyond 1970s. Like, when I was a kid, I thought punk rock was something they did in the 70s up to about 79, and it petered out in 1980. I didn't know anything about skate punk or hardcore punk or pop punk or any of that stuff. Or alternative or anything. I just knew that I just thought it was just done. So getting into high school and getting into Plasmatics and Exploited, and then the skate punk stuff like NoFX, and by the time I was in 10th grade, all the hardcore stuff. Dead Kennedys, Millions of Dead Cops, Circle Jerks and Black Flag. And Crucifix and Flipper and all that stuff. That's how that happened. So when I got into GG, I didn't even put him into a punk rock camp. Like, I wasn't really sure. I wasn't really sure. Here's a CD of that, by the way. Always was and always shall be, as will look familiar from the vinyl when you open her up. I got the original LP for that too, but let's look at some GG. I'm not pulling out the 45s, but maybe I will if you're good. Let's look at a couple of LPs that I have in my collection. EMF. So EMF here, I got it with the blue background. I don't know why it's blue, but I don't know why it's blue, but it's from Black and Blue Records. EMF, produced by Dick Urin. Yeah, I don't know. 1989. I assume that this version of the LP came out in 1989. Oh, I got it years ago. Obviously, many years ago. I got it new, which is really cool because it was definitely not the late 80s when I bought this. Obviously, it was sometime in the, much later. Much later. I mean, I was probably living on my own when I bought this, I moved out on my own when I was 23. But this is cool. EMF, you know what that stands for. Eat my foot! When I was in my early 20s, I started going to Philly with my girlfriend. Now that is my wife. Today is our 15th wedding anniversary. Got Doctrines of Mayhem and Boozing and Pranks. So, yeah, this is, Doctrines of Mayhem. This is the one I have. Off original Black and Blue Records. I don't know what this is worth, but I don't give a shit because I'll never sell it, so I'll never look it up. So, this is my version of Doctrines of Mayhem. Black and Blue Records. I bought this in Philly with her when we started going there. For trips to South Street, and I eventually we started spending long weekends up there. South Street, when they had all the record stores and all the, the punk rock stores and the clothing stores. And Boozing and Pranks as well. I remember Boozing and Pranks off Black and Blue Records. Like I remember going. We bought these in Noise Pollution. This is my absolute favorite record store in Philly. Noise Pollution. That guy I think just died like last year or the year before. In his 50s, so I guess they just shut down. He was like the main guy, you know. Sucks. But I hadn't been there in years, but I always wanted to kind of like revisit it to be like, I was so young when I came here and used to, I bought a couple of copies of Infant Mortality 7 inches, a 7-inch record, the infamous punk rock band from Dover, Delaware. I bought that record from there. It was not in the, definitely wasn't in the dollar bin, but, it was really cool to see. Like, it freaked out. When I bought those records, I was asking for GG stuff, and they're like, no, not only GG. I'm like, and they would always play GG Allin through the loudspeaker. I'm like, you guys never have it. And the clerk was like, I might have something for you. So he goes in the bag and fucking brings out that. So that was great. And I bought it immediately. It's like, I will write you a blank check. So let's look at a newer compilation and why I bought it. This is GG Allin, Portrait of an Artist. Put out by the one and only Malcolm Tent from TPOS Productions. Traditional black vinyl, my favorite. Because black is beautiful when it comes to fucking, when it comes to everything, really. Don't cancel me. But yeah, I'm not a huge fan of colored vinyl and or picture discs just because they don't sound good. I really try to avoid, for my own personal collections, picture discs and glow-in-the-dark vinyl because they sound like complete shit from experience. Avoid glow-in-the-dark vinyl and try to get away from picture discs. I have a couple of picture discs because this is what I had to have or something just for collectors, But generally speaking, just go black vinyl. It's gonna traditional. It's gonna sound better. It might not look as pretty, but it is fucking good. Anyway, so I bought this right when what do you get? The GG Allin fan that's got it all. That almost had it all. Well, you might get him this. I've actually bought this just for the, for Hotel, from Hotel Claremont, and that single. I'll say Hotel Clement just because it sounds better. That was a 45 that was always on my want list. And then I was like, this came out and I was like, this had the whole thing on there, the whole 7-inch. So I'll just buy it. It's good. And there's some spoken word stuff on here. And then there's stuff like Kissing the Flames and acoustic stuff like A Slick Highway, Sitting in This Room, When I Die, The Price, stuff. Everybody, if you're a big GG Allin fan, you know all the acoustic stuff, and that would be that. So like I said, some pretty cool spoken word stuff. Some stuff from the Warn My Head era as well. I'll talk about that. And Warn My Head is not one of my favorite GG Allin albums, but it was one of the last that I got because when I was borderline finishing my GG Allin collection, there was one full length that I didn't get. And I had a lot of demos and a lot of rehearsal tapes from the sessions, from the War in My Head sessions with shrink wrap. But, by the way, here's like kind of an expanded version of EMF, You'll Never Tame Me. Like, I bought this first, like back in the day. When did this come out? 1999. And then I bought EMF in the early 2000s to add to my collection, just buying stuff. And I was disappointed because I was like, oh, most of it's on here, but you get some other stuff. Scumfuck's era, so EMF is going to be really on that still. Really cool artwork and pretty to look at. War in My Head. Here it is. I got too much GG Allin crap. Not showing it because it's my favorite. But, you know, if you want to see what GG Allin did in when it comes to industrial music, this is it. So cool. I didn't buy this for a long time. I was definitely living on my own. I mean, I'm pretty sure me and my wife were living back in Lakeland. We've only lived in this house for I think it's been just about 6 years we moved into the house here. We were living in the trailer in Lakeland. We were living there for 8 years, and probably halfway through it, I broke down and actually bought this album. This is the last GG Allin album that I bought. And I was aware of it probably 10 years before I bought it. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not doing math right now, but... And like I said, I had gotten rehearsal tapes from it and demo tapes from it and unused material from it. But I was like, I can't do it because it's the last thing. What am I going to get? I've already really completed the discography except for this album. And then I bought it, and then, you know, it was fun. And, you know, it's not bad. It's like I said, if you want to hear GG in a spoken word industrial noise kind of thing, this would be the one. This would be the one, baby. One of my favorites though. This one, no, it's just the last one. I just, you know, I think it's a pretty neat story. And there's other kind of suicide session stuff that I have. Like I said, I have the original tape. What else can I show you? I can show you this. I have some couple of other tapes that have original suicide sessions. From Skeeter. That's right, I talked to Skeeter. Call me a poser, I don't care, man. I've talked to Skeeter. He helped me build my entire GG Allin discography. I don't care if Merle likes him or not. I'm not a Merle Allin fan, and I don't listen to Murder Junkies now. I've seen him live a couple times at Gators. Not a fan. Even though I love Dino. Dino is awesome. Dino Sex, the drummer. But I am not a fan of whatever kid they have. Like, I like, obviously, GG Allin Murder Junkies, and then when he died, they had Jeff Clayton from Man I Sing singing for him, and that's great. They didn't record, but they recorded a 7-inch and a 10-inch record with Mike Denied, which was really good. And I like Mike Denied. I talk to him from time to time. We're friends on Facebook, and I like Mike Denied era Murder Junkies because I like him. I like his vocal style. But after that, then they got a couple of different kids doing it, and I'm just not. I'm a GG fan, Anyway, I got off kilter here. This is Violent Beatings from GG. This is pretty much Suicide Sessions. Just, this is the Watch Me Kill EP. Remixed with alternate, previously unavailable versions of songs from the Suicide Sessions, Acme Records. So, like I said, I got a lot of different Suicide Sessions. If I had to guess, I have the original tape, I have this, I have the CD that I showed, and I have some cassette stuff from Skeeter and some of the cassettes that he put out. But yeah, of course that would be my favorite GG album, Suicide Sessions. I would go Suicide Sessions, Resurrected, and just for the sake of argument, I would say Brutality and Bloodshed for All, even though the third one's not right. We'll say the Resurrected and Suicide Sessions are my favorite. I did like Brutality and Bloodshed when I was a kid, but if I had to pick a third, it would probably be probably Give Love a Bad Name with the Holy Men, maybe. That one's a really good album. Freaks, Faggots, Drunks, and Junkies is a good one. With the Bulge. Even compilations like Hayden and the Nation. I don't know. I would really have. Or the album that they did with Anti-Scene called Murder Junkies. That one's a really good one. I probably actually do like that one a lot more than Brutality and Bloodshed for All. So I like several different albums, but Brutality and Bloodshed for All. And that's the one where GG Allin fans that I've talked to are like, ugh. And it sounds too good, right? But I don't know. Anyway, that's my GG episode. Hopefully you guys liked it. We're opening up the record store, so hopefully, fingers crossed that will go well. Hopefully we'll open up sometime in November. I told the state office we're gonna hopefully open up by November 1st, but it might be more like November 15th. We're opening this year. I don't care what I have to pay or what I have to do. We're gonna open up this year. Before Christmas. Alright guys, so Dancehall Neil coming to you live and direct. I did want to do another Everything's Such a Mess, because I was going to do the episode about my other interests, which I did post, but I had to take it down for reasons I won't get into. But I want to re-record that video just to show some of my movies, some of my extreme Japanese fetish movies, my shockumentaries, and my old Mondo movies, some of my comic books and graphic novels, and some of my vintage action figures. All that stuff is a pretty big part of my life, and kind of reminiscent to the early days of my life. So I definitely, the next video I do will probably be that, unless I can get Pat on something, and or we're in the record store, whatever happens first. Because when I get in that record store, there's going to be a bunch of videos to show, and yeah. Bye.